What is up, everyone? My name is Mr. J, and today I am bringing you the top 16 regional deck list from Peoria that took place on May 30. And I actually attended this event. I took rocks, and I can go over my matchups, but mostly I want to talk about the top 16 decks. It was my first regionals, which was pretty cool, and I actually really enjoyed it. There were 9 rounds in total. You see the champion here, Onion, with an 8-1 record. 3 Musketeers took it, but I played all 9 rounds. I really enjoyed it, and it was rough. It was rough, man. If you guys have ever attended a regionals, or if you haven't attended a regionals, I think in general, every single round that I played was like it was a battle, dude. Just really good players overall. And so we're gonna go over top 16. And again, I'll just talk about my experiences. So we're looking at the Digilabs here. And before we move into the top 16, I want to see the meta breakdown. So it says overall there were about 307 players. It says Chicago, Illinois, but this was Peoria again. So the most representation was Glowing Dawn with 34 pilots, followed up by 3 Musketeers, obviously Beostarmon X, and you see that the highest win percentage was 3 Musketeers. So first place. And let's go. But yeah, we followed up by Angels and Bear Bros. Bear Bros actually had 22 pilots and TS Angels had 21. Then Jupitermon had 18. All right, so let's go over the deck list. We're gonna start with top 16. I know Risu usually does this, but again, I wanted to, since I attended it, I just wanted to go over it and talk about my experiences, my experience overall. I usually don't like staying over at hotels, and but it wasn't bad. I only had 2 hours of sleep, of course. But let's go over Medusamon XLR8 Alpha. Got top 16 with a 7-2 record, and of course he's playing the Digimon BT25 rookies. He's playing 11. He is running the Ukomons here, as you can see. 2 Elizas that start a main phase, or when moving effect, you gain plus 3k DP and rush for the turn, or raid. My bad. I have noticed that a lot of decks are starting to bump up the plus 3k DP. I mean, they're starting to add more cards that add DP buffs because of the Bears deck, right? So it really helps out versus Talisman. So I think that was also just like a meta call. A BT25 Eliza at 4, of course. And then the pitch 1 draw 2 Eliza at only 2 copies. And then level 4s, we have 2 Cyclone, 2 Dimetromon, or 4 Dimetro from BT25, and then 3 from BT24, which is really interesting because this is the one that has protection, right? Yeah, this is the one that gives protection, only 3 copies. And then level 5s, again, so here's the difference. He's only running 6 champions, which is kind of crazy. I'd be very worried about breaking, so we'll see his supporting cards. But he's running 4 of the Lamia, of course. But here he's running the Cybergermon. Cybergermon Inheritable has this Digimon gets 4k DP. Again, really good into the Bears matchup. And it just has kind of the same effect when digivolving to, if your opponent has 5 or fewer security cards, they place 1 card from their hand as the bottom security, then trash their top security card. Again, really good to mostly trigger the, well, what I'm talking about is like you can suspend the O-win, right, to force the attack and then hopefully progress while you're going against the Bears matchup. For Medusamon, only 4 level 6s. The BT or EX11 Medusamon. That was really interesting. I think Medusamon did really well in general because Beostarmon is such a headache, and obviously Medusamon bottom decks cards, right? Then by returning 1 card from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck, they play 1 petrification token. So again, bottom decking the level 4s or their options, because you can bot deck an option. Really good, really good. And then of course, 3 Styracommon. Again, really small amount. I think for Megas, 7, only 7 is kind of low for a Liberator deck. But I mean, what do I know? This guy took top 16, right? Tamers, 3 O-win from BT25, 3 BT24 O-win. And then the options. Okay, so he is running 4 offense training, 1 red scramble, sprint dash training at 1 copy, 2 red memory boost, 2 crimson blaze, and then only 1 raging serpentine. And so we do see that even though he has 6 level 5s, that he is running 7 supporting cards, right? The 5 trainings and the 2 red memory boosts. Cutting down the scramble to 1 copy. Again, scramble is really good because Medusamon has access to rush. The thing is, I have noticed that people started cutting down red scramble because the games don't last that long. I'll be honest with you, at the regionals, I was running 2 black scramble in my rocks deck, minerals, and they hardly came up because the games just finished so fast. But let's move on. I feel like I spent too much time on this one. So let's move on to Elysium, Glowing Dawn here, our first Glowing Dawn list. And it took 15th place with a 7-2 record, and 4 Kekomon, of course, level 3s, 1 Chiropemon. I'm going to butcher some of these names, but I just started watching the series, guys. So 1 Chirope to recycle cards from the trash, 2 of the BT25 Gecko only, 4 of the Geckomon. That obviously gets you a little bit more value by putting a card under your tamer, right? Reveal top 3, add among them, add 1 Glowing Dawn trait card, and place 1 such card face down under any of your Glowing Dawn trait tamers. Really good. 2 Lyomon from BT25, that's a searcher. I found that this guy is really good, right? Reveal top 3, add 1 Glowing Dawn trade card, and 1 yellow Beat Break trade card among them to the hand. 3 of the reduced by 1 Evo Lyomon, 4 Armaliza from BT25, and 4 Cougarmon. Not running any of the BT25 Cougar, notably, and no Wolvermon as well. 4 Monarch Liza for the level 5s, 4 Murasamemon from BT25. This one again is really good because you don't need to have a tamer. You just add the top card of your security to your hand, and then you can play a Glowing Dawn trade card from your hand with the play cost reduced by 3. Not play costs. So you may play or use 1 card with the Glowing Dawn trade. Again, so you could use the option card, you can play out the Tamer or Digimon. Really good. I've seen a lot of people just play Murasame and then add the top card and then just play Monarch Liza and then rush for game, right? With the Monarch Liza. The level 6s here kind of threw me off a little bit. He's only running 2 Atreides and then 4 Habakiri. So I think Atreides is really good. I know some people like to say Atreides, but that sounds kind of weird to me, so I like Atreides. I think Atreides is the best card in the deck. So it's really surprising that he's only running it at 2 copies, but I understand DP minus is really good, especially with Habakiri. The option card effect to do minus 8Ks to one Digimon, and then by trashing your top security card, all of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5K for the turn. Again, that mini ruin mode like effect is really good. So I understand that, but I mean, I recently started playing the deck and I actually have the ratios switched, where it's 4 Atreides, 2 Habakiri. But let me know what you guys think about that. And then for the Tamers, 1 of the starter deck, black and purple, 4 of the BT25 Tomoro, and then 4 of the dual tamer Tomoro and Kyo. I actually really undervalue this card, but giving jamming to your Digimon is actually really good. So I was thinking about bumping that up to 2 copies. And then for the options, 4 E-Pulse, of course, mandatory, and then 3 Glowing Dawn. And so that was, again, Elysium. Let's move on to the next person. All right, we have James Tranke. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, or Trank. And he's 14th place, also with a 7-2 record. And let's see if there's any differences. So for Keko, the rookie looks kind of the same. He's not running any of the reduced Evo Lyomon, but he's maxing out on the searchers here with 4 of the BT25 searcher, only 3 of the BT25 Gecko, and then obviously 4 of the Gecko from the starter deck, 3 Armaliza, 2 Cougar from BT25, 4 Cougar from the starter deck, only 3 Monarch Liza from BT25, 2 Monarch Liza. The other list was not running any copies of this one from the starter deck. This one's really good against into the bear matchup, giving you plus 3K. And then 4 Murasame from BT25. Again, not really running the Murasamemon from the starter deck, which I still kind of like for the minus 5K when evoing, but you know, I see it. And then on the split level 6s, 3 Atreides, 3 Habakiri. Again, I think Atreides is the best, but yeah. I guess to each their own, right? He took top 14, so he knows what he's doing. And then only one of the jamming, 3 Tomoro instead of 4 Tomoro, and then 4 of the Tomoro Kyo. 4 Impulse, again, it's mandatory, and then 2 Glowing Dawn. So a slight few differences, but for the most part, it's kind of the same. Let's move on to the next one. Next one, our first list, the BoyWonder with TS Angels. 13th place, 7-2 record for Nyaromon. I think this Nyaromon dude is probably like, I want to say, yeah, $7 market price. That makes sense. Everyone's using this Nyaromon by trashing the top to bottom of your security. Gain 1 memory. Level 3s, 4 Pada, BT25, 4 Pada, BT14, 4 Promo Padamon. All the potatoes. 12 rookies. Level 4s, Agiomon I actually think is really good to play all your tamers. So 3 Agiomon from BT24 cores, 4 of the new Angemon that has Ascension, 4 of the CS Angemon with Barrier Inheritable and Barrier Naturally, 4 Pegasusmon, of course, bread and butter, and that is 15 champs. Level 5s, 4 Magna Angemon with the premium DP reduction when evoing, 4 Shakuamon, and then 1 of the old Shakuamon for the CS Shakuamon that's limited. Level 6, 3 Juno, and then 3 Venus. My friend Alex also took Angels to the regionals, and I was talking to him about it, but I mean, obviously we had to submit the deck list beforehand, but I was telling him that Venusmon was going to be so good because a lot of people aren't, I don't know why they're not expecting it anymore, because option cards are becoming a thing, right? The dual color option cards or whatever, dual Digimon / option cards. But Venusmon, dude, giving sec +1, blanket sec +1, no matter what, is pretty good. And just blocking your opponent from using when digivolving and when attacking effects for a whole turn is so good if they're planning to do like a crackback turn. 4 Asuna, Shiroko from BT24, of course, mandatory. I think it's a mandatory 4 of, honestly. 1 Blinding Ray, notably no Hiroko. Options, 1 Blinding Ray, 2 Physical Training, 1 Treadmill Training. No yellow memory boosts, which I also find surprising. But again, 13th place. Congrats to BoyWonder. Let's move on. All right, Bear Bros, EasyBreezy, the first one on the list. We have, 12th place, 7-2 record. First list, let's see. 4 Tokamon, obviously, the Draw Egg. This Digimon has TS trait, draw 1 card when attacking. Pretty much gonna kind of power creep the old Wanyamon. Level 3s, we have 12, 4 Bearmon, 4 Bearmon Red, which is start of main phase. You can evo into the level 4 for free. 3 Bearmon, and this one's the reduced evo by 1. And 1 Kokuamon, which also has the same thing as the Red Bearmon where you evo for free. And 4 Tapirmon from BT24. So 12 rookies. I've seen a higher count of rookies. Honestly, I think I play so low in mine. I think I could have done a lot better, but I just bricked a lot because I was playing 10 rookies. And it's good to see that a lot of people are actually upping the rookie count, because with the regionals, man, I just noticed that consistency was king, dude. Like, you just had to make sure you didn't brick. Level 4s, 1 Greymon from BT24, interesting. 4 Grizzly, red and green, and then 4 Grizzly, green and black. So that's 9 champs only. Really interesting to see the Greymon, which is on deletion, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, but it does have blocker. Level 8, level 5s, 8 of them, 4 Grapplio, 4 Great Grizzly. Again, the taunting effect is really good because, yeah, controlling your opponent's breeding phase is pretty good. Pretty good. 4 Callusmon, he's pretty much the star. And then only 3 Marsmon. This one, some people run Vortexermon, but this one's not. Callusmon just annoying all day, dude. Fortitude, Reboot, Blocker, stuns a Tamer, right? And then when an effect plays or de-digivolves, or digivolves in any Digimon, de-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. And then this Digimon may battle one of your opponent's Digimon. So really good. You can kind of play around it, but it's actually really annoying, especially with the Fortitude. This one, 3 Hiroko, and then 3 Dan and Kanan. So only 6 Tamers. Options, 2 Sprint Dash Training, 3 In Between Theater, and then 3 Paradise Coliseum. So congrats again to EasyBreezy. All right, moving on to another Glowing Dawn list. We have Hoang in 11th place with a 7-2 record. I actually met Hoang, I went up to him because I recognized him right away, obviously. Cool guy. And then I also met Donkey Kanag, who's gonna be in the a list we review in a bit. But cool guy, it was nice meeting him. And so Glowing Dawn, let's see any differences. So for Keko, he's also running one of the purple Chirotmons level 3s. Now, interesting, what I noticed about Hoang is that he's maxing out on the Lylemon also, which is reveal top 3. Again, add 1 Glowing Dawn and also 1 yellow Beat Break card. For Gecko, 3 Gecko from BT25. Level 4s, he's running 9, 3 Armaliza, 1 Cougarmon from BT25, 4 Cougar from the starter deck, and 1 Wolvermon. What I've noticed so far is that people aren't really running the Armaliza that plays a Tamer from the starter deck, if you guys have noticed. My cat wants some love. And then level 5 is interesting. Only 3 Monarch Liza from BT25, 2 Monarch Liza from the starter deck, 3 Murasame from BT25, and then 1 Murasame from the starter deck. Again, we haven't seen this really, but this is the one that when digivolving one of your opponents, on player when digivolving one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 5k. Actually, what I said before doesn't count with this Murasame, because this Murasame is only when digivolving when attacking. And this one is on play, so this one on play can use the Monarch Lizamon. The BT25 Murasame cannot. Interesting. Level 6 is 3 Atreides, 3 Habakiri, so 3-3 splits. And then kind of the same ratio as the other people with the Tamers, right? 8 Tamers and just 1 of the jamming, black and purple. 4 Pulse and Glowing Dawn. So we do see a lot of similarities. Obviously, it's going to look similar. Like, we don't have that many Beat Break cards just yet. So congrats to Hoang Zero on 11th place. Next, we got our first Jupiter list with Mannygotdajuice. 10th place, 7-2 record. And let's see, 4 Sunomon from BT24, which lets you reduced evolve when your security stack is removed from. Level 3 is 11, 4 Elecmon from BT24, 4 Elecmon from BT25, the new one, and then 3 Lunamon as his, I would say, secondary level 3, obviously. And this one's reveal top 3 cards, add 1 Iliad trait and 1 TS trait card among. Oh, that's pretty good. And has jamming. Okay, cool. Level 4 is only 8, 4 AGO from BT24, and then 4 of the new AGO, which also has barrier and does adds the top card to security, and then gives one of your opponent's Digimon minus 5k. That's on play when digivolving. Pretty good for removal. Level 5s, he's running 4 Aegis from BT24, 2 of the Rush Aegis, and then 2 of the Aegis Blue, which this is the new one. This is on play when digivolving. De-digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, and it has blocker, which is really good. A little bit of more of a defensive piece, not really running the green and black one. Green and red Aegis green. And then for level 6s, he has 1 Dianamon, 4 Jupiter, 2 Minerva, 1 Neptune, 2 Venus from BT24, and 1 Ruin Mode. So this is 10 level 6s. Obviously, 2 Minerva, 1 Neptune, 2 Venus. 5 of those can be played out. Let me read the Dianamon because I have not seen it. So Dianamon, when this card would be played, if your opponent has level 6 or higher Digimon, reduce the play cost by 5. None of your opponent's Digimon with, or on play when digivolving, none of your opponent's Digimon with 1 or fewer Digivolution cards can suspend until their turn ends. Pretty good. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon that's unsuspended. All turns, once per turn, when any Digimon are played or digivolve, you may trash any 4 Digivolution cards from your opponent's Digimon. Then 2 of your Digimon may DNA Digivolve into Grace Nova. I'm assuming it sees itself, so it'll trash 4 of the Digivolution cards. And yeah, seems pretty good as a floodgate, right? Because then the rookies can't really attack and the champs can't really attack. Well, champs can sometimes attack. And then 1 Ruin Mode to lock them out, pretty good. Tamers, we have 11. 2 Asuna, 3 Hiroko, 3 Hinori, and then 3 Homeros, and then just 1 option card, Blinding Ray. I think this list is interesting because the Tamers are your only consistency pieces, right? Outside of the rookies, which actually no, yeah, outside of the rookies. I don't know, but it's really interesting. He's not running any in-between theaters, but he's also not running Dan and Kanan. So that also might make sense why. but I'm surprised no yellow memory boost. It also makes sense it wouldn't pick up the Aegis as Aegis red and Aegis blue. Yeah, so I guess that's pretty cool. This is, I think, the only Jupiter list in top 16. So again, congrats to Mannygotdajuice, 10th place. All right, moving on to Bear Bros Eddie, 9th place, 7-2 record as well. I think this is the highest Bear Bros. I could be wrong. I gotta go back and look. But for Toko, of course, that's not gonna change. We have 11 rookies, 4 Red Bear, 2 Green Bear, 2 Corona, and then 3 Tapir. So Corona here is the new one we haven't seen before. By trashing up to 2 Iliad or TS trait card from your hand, draw 1 for each card trash. This is a when moving effect and on play effect, so pretty good. When moving is pretty fast. 3 Grizzly, red green, 3 Grizzly, green black, and then 2 Pheramon. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. This one on play, when digivolving by trashing 1 card in your hand, you may return 1 red or blue Iliad trait Digimon card from your trash to the hand. So some recursion, and then when your Digimon are played or digivolve, if any of them are blue, this Digimon may digivolve into Pheramon. Okay, so that doesn't count. Let's move on to level 5s. 4 Graplio, only 3 Great Grizzly, 4 Callusmon, 4 Marsmon. And for the Tamers, 2 Asuna, 4 Dan and Kanan, 4 In Between Theater, 2 Iron Slash, and then 4 Paradise Coliseum. I'm assuming he's playing the Iron Slash mainly for the Digivolve, right? And obviously, since he's playing 4 Dan and Kanan, he can use it for free most of the time, and it gives plus collision and piercing, which is pretty good. Yeah, the main effect is just Digivolve to one of your opponent's Digimon. Again, option cards are really good this format, especially with decks that just have so much immunity from Digimon card effects. So there is Eddie's list. Congrats, Eddie, on 9th place. And then we have 3 Musketeers, 8th place. This is the first 3 Musketeers list we're seeing, I think. Bake or Bake. And 7-2 record. 4 Pagu, of course, from BT25. 4 Gazimon, when moving on play, really good searcher. 4 Sparrowmon, only 3 Toyagu, so 11 rookies in total. 4 Black Gato, 4 Scope. This is kind of debatable, where sometimes people run 3 Scope. And usually the Toyagumon's like 3 or 4 as well. For the level 5s, 6. 4 Lady Devi and 2 Satella. So I have seen only 6 usually. I don't think I've seen people run 7. Maybe it could be wrong, and we're about to see someone run 7 level 5s. But I've actually seen people cut it down, since Black Gato can warp, right, into your level 6. So you don't really need the level 5s. But the Satella, I was talking with someone and he said the Satellamon was really good, if anything, for the mirror match, just to protect from Digivolve. And then he's running 4 Beostarmon from BT25, 3 Beostarmon X antibody, which is a lot of money, and no Guntermon, which is interesting. 3 Asuna from BT24, and then 4 Asuna from BT25. This one is so broken. I was playing Pyramidi. I played against 1 Beostarmon deck, and I just popped him. I just kept popping them with the EX11 Pyramidi, because if you have a chance to pop something, you pop this one. This is the one that lets you evil from hand or trash. So, and then options: 4 Bind Red Trigger, 3 Dare Blitz, and 4 Hurricane Screw Shot. Bind Red Trigger seems to be the most popular at 4 because you trash your opponent's security, so that makes sense. And yeah, that's the list. So congrats to Bake or Bake with 8th place Beostar. All right, moving on to 7th place, 3 Musketeers Beostarmon Josh with a 7-1-1 record. Let's look for any differences, because we're gonna start seeing a lot of Beostarmon. 4 Pagu, 4 Gazimon, only 3 Sparrows, interesting, and only 3 at Toyagu. Only 10 rookies. Ooh, dude, I'm getting PTSD with, since I only ran 10 rookies as well. 4 Black Gato, 4 Scope, 8 Champs. The level 5s, he's actually running 7. Running 4 Lady Devi, and then 3 of the Satella Mon. Again, Satellamon really good for the protection effects. And for the level 6 is also something I have not seen. Level 6 is 4 Beostarmon from BT25, and then 4 Beostarmon X antibody. That's a lot of money, dude. This card is so expensive right now because it's in high demand. It's just impossible to make the deck without this card, unfortunately. So prepare to spend like at least $500 on the deck if you want to play this deck. I want to say 500. If you just started out, you know, you don't have any of the cards. 4 Tamers, 3 Asuna, 4 Asuna from BT25, and then 1 Monica Simmons, which is really interesting. Monica Simmons is a memory setter, and then on play you may return 1 TS trade option card from your trash to the hand. If this affected, in return draw 1 card. And then when you use TS trade option cards, by suspending this tamer, one of your opponent's Digimon can't attack until the end of their turn, which is, I guess, a really good defensive card. I wonder what he was worried about. Maybe a Digimon that had immunity, and then use the TS trade option, and then you just freeze it, right? So he can't go for game next turn. 4 Bind Red Trigger, like I said, the most popular. 3 Musketeers option, 2 Dare Blitz instead of 3, and then 3 Hurricane Screw Shot. Dare Blitz is not getting too much love. I think the best part of this effect is obviously the Digivolve effect. When effects trash this card from the Digivolution cards, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. But that was Josh. Congratulations on 7th place. All right, moving on to 6th place. 3 Musketeers, Count Gacula. 3 Musketeers, let's see. Looking for the differences here. 4 Pagu, 4 Gazi, 4 Sparrow, 4 Toyagu. So he's actually running 12. This is the first list we've seen run, I think, a full 12 rookie count. And then level 4s, of course, it's going to be the same. 4 Black Gato, 4 Scope, 4 Lady Devi, 3 Satella. So again, he's one of the other guys that's running 7 level 5s. And then level 6s, he's running 4 Beostarmon from BT25, 2 Beostarmon Extended Body, and 1 Gundramon. 4 Asuna, and then, yeah, 4 for the Tamers, and then only 3 Bind Red Trigger, 2 Dare Blitz, and then 3 Hurricane Screw Shot. So let's go back to Gundramon here. He's the first person to run with the Gundra as a one-of. Of course, on play, when Digivolving, reveal the top 6 cards of your deck. You may use 1 3 Musketeers trade option cards among them without paying the cost. Return the rest to the top or bottom. This is, I guess, is really good if you want to manipulate your deck, but I don't like Gundramon just for the sole reason that the dude always seems to whiff when I play him. But I think the protection is really good, right? Because all turns, when any of your 3 Musketeers trade Digimon leave the battle area, other than by your effects, by trashing 1 option card in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, they don't leave, right? And that's not a once per turn effect. It's just in general. Like if you had 3 of the option cards, then you could protect your Digimon 3 times. So the only way to get rid of this usually is to de-Digivolve it. And I think that's why he's running 4 Satellamon, right? Satellamon gives that when evoing, on player when evoing, he does the he gives you protection from the Digivolve effects. So again, pretty good for the Gundra. So congratulations on 6th place, Count Gacula. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Okay, next one we have Rubberobo or Rubberobo. Vulcanusmon, the only Vulcanus in top 16, 5th place with an 8-1 record. And then let's see this list. 4 Toko, the draw attack one. 4 Coronamon, 3 Kokuamon, and then 4 Toyagu. We haven't seen this one yet, but this is the researcher for the deck. Reveal top 3 cards on play. Unfortunately, not when moving. Add 1 option card and 1 TS trade card among them to the hand. Return the rest of the bottom and reboot as an inheritable. 3 Blimpmon, 1 of the Greymon, again from BT24 is interesting, and then 1 Meramon. We haven't seen this one yet. This is by trashing main effect, by trashing 1 Flamer TS trade card from your hand. Delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 4K or less. If this affected and delete, draw 2 cards. Okay, cool. So some draw power if you don't delete anything. And just some removal in general. Level 5 is only 1, the Master Blimpmon, which is really cool. Master Blimpmon is just, it has assembly, so you can play either Blimpmon or a Tamer card with the TS trait, which is pretty cool. And for the Megas, he's running 4 Vulcanus and also 2 Marsmon, was really interesting. 3 Asuna from BT24 and then 4 Dan and Kanan. Okay. So option cards, here it is. Gravity Crush, of course, as the one of 4 Divine Arms version. I believe that's Alpha, I could be wrong. Omega. And then 4 Factorial Area, 4 In Between Theater, so 4 of the Searchers, and then 2 Iron Slash, 2 Ignition Flare, and then 3 Tidal Stream. Tidal Stream has been so good, dude. I know Tidal Stream, just that effect to return all of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to the hand is kind of crazy. And then one of your Digimon also unsuspends, which means you can also go for game with the Danakanon, which is pretty cool, right? Because this one triggers first when attacking. It's one of your Digimon. The main effect is one of your Digimon unsuspends, and then you can attack with the Danakanon in the turn. But the Ignition Flare is also really interesting because it deletes all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. If this effect didn't delete, trash one of your opponent's option cards in the battle area. Oh, interesting. And then Inheritable, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much DP as its Digimon or less. So that's the only Vulcanus list top 16, I believe. So congratulations to Rubberobo. All right, 4th place Angels. I think, yeah, this is the highest Angels by Celeste. 4th place, 8-1 record. And for Nyaramon, of course, all 12 of Patamons, the little potato. And yeah, I'm looking for the differences in the list. 4 Ascension Angemon, 4 Barrier Angemon, 1 Cyclonemon, 4 Gatomon, 4 Pegasus. So right away, we see that the difference is that he's actually running the Gatomon. When an effect trashes this card from the security, you may play it without paying the cost. It has Barrier, naturally, Barrier, Inheritable, and also all turns once per turn when a card is removed from your security stack, gain 1 memory. So very, very memory efficient. 4 Magna Angie, 4 Shakuamon, no CS Shakua. And level 6s, this was interesting. And level 7s, he's running 2 Juno, 2 Minerva, and then only 1 Venus from BT11, and also the Ruin Mode to top it off. I think Ruin Mode is really good for stopping those comeback turns from your opponent. Let's read the Minerva real quickly. It says, well, it has Alliance, and then on play when Digivolving, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon, usually with the TS trait. That's what we're looking for. And when attacking once per turn, you may play 1 level 4 Digimon card with the TS trait and everything else with from your trash without paying the cost. Pretty good. So flooding the board, of course, when Digivolving and when attacking, you get to bring something out. And Tamers, only 3 Asuna, 1 Blinding Ray, and then 3 Yellow Memory Boosts, which I'm also a fan of, especially since you want to hard play stuff, right? So sometimes you'll play something with the Asuna and then pop the Memory Boost and go to 3. So congrats. This is the highest placed TS Angels to Celeste. Or is this Celeste? Celeste is in Spanish, but so I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a girl or boy, but Celeste is a girl's name. I don't know. It might be something else. Let me know. If it's a guy, my bad. But yeah, congrats on your 4th place. All right, 3rd place. We have Red Hybrid Toolbox, piloted by Wgblass, and 8-1 record. Only Red Hybrid top 16. Let's look at the list. 4 Koromon from BT. Dude, how old is this? Yo, BT14. Man, this egg is old. Rookies. We have 3 Flamemon from BT17, 2 Flamemon from BT12. That's the pitch 1, draw 2. And then 4 Flamemon. That's the ridiculous one that lets you play a tamer for free, or just off the main effect. 1 Flamemon that has piercing inheritable. 2 Okumon. And that's it. Again, really interesting to see the piercing one. For the level 4s, we have 3 Agunimon from BT21, 3 Agunimon from BT20, I believe. Yeah, BT18. That's the one that returns you a hybrid trait from your trash to your hand. And then 3 Burning Greymon from BT17, 3 Kazimon, 1 Kuma, 3, and then level 5s, 4 Aldemon, obviously busted level 5. And then the other interesting one was he's running 1 Aldemon from BT 17, I believe. Yeah, which is just the warp one, right? Also, you get to warp by using a Burning Greymon and a Gunimon on top of your Takuya. And when Digivolving, he deletes a 6k or less, but it might come up. I think he might be using it for the Inheritables, which is kind of like the old Aldemon, which is while this Digimon has hybrid or 10 warriors and traits, it doesn't activate security effects on option cards, it checks. And with option cards being kind of crazy this format, of course, like, yeah, This is a good call. I like it. And then 1 Emperor Greymon from BT18, 1 Marsmon from BT25. That's interesting. 1 Metallic Dramon from EX7, and then 2 Volcanic Dramon from EX7. So he's running the Floodgates as the top end, right? Metallic Dramon, when Digivolving, pretty much stuns your opponent, right? So when Digivolving, none of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon can Digivolve until the end of their opponent's turn. So if they have a rookie in the back, they're like really screwed. Or Asuna Hiroko plays something, screwed still, right? And again, if it leaves the battle area, he can play the Volcanic Dramon, and then vice versa. The Volcanic Dramon, when Digivolving, your opponent can't play or move Digimon with 6k or less. Again, really good to just... Yeah, I can see how this is really good into 3 Musketeers or any TS trade deck that plays their rookies out or champs out, because they can, right? So really good. And Tamers, 3 Takuya from BT25, BT21, 2 of the old BT18 Takuya that gives you, right, end of turn this Digimon may attack. And then 4 of the 8001, of course, the most busted Tamer. The options, he's running Sprint Dash Training at 2, 3 Spirit Evolution, and only 1 Crimson Blaze. Interesting. I like that. I like that. And yeah, this was Wgblass taking 3rd place. So congrats, the only red hybrid in top 16. And then 2nd place we have Momin, better known as Donkey Kong, on YouTube, 3 Musketeers, Beostarmon. 2nd place, 8-1 record. And let's go over his 3 Muskets list. So 4 Pagu, of course, 4 Gazi, 3 Sparrow, 4 Toy Agumon. Okay, so 11 rookies, and choosing to opt the Searcher over the Sparrow, right? Maxing out on the Toy Agu. Level 4 is pretty standard. It's been 8 this whole night. And then level 5s, he's only running 4, and this is what I noticed. And you'll see Onion's list in a second. They're actually running a lower count of the level 5s. So only 3 Lady Devi and only 1 Satellamon. Level 6s, we'll see what they decided to put in a second for that space, because they have a little bit more space. Level 6s, 4 Beostarmon from BT25, only 2 Beostar X Antibody. He decides to run 2 Ruin modes, which I also thought about it because, you know, sometimes like you'll trash 2 security and you'll swing for 1 check or whatever, but then you kind of don't have anything to do. And then I think Ruin mode is just so good because it locks your opponent out for 2 whole turns where they just can't play rookies, or they can't use their Asunas, they can't use their Hirokos. No scramble for 2 whole turns. It's pretty crazy. They have to build up to a level 5 in the back, and half the time, like, decks don't even have level 5s, right? Some decks don't even have like level 5s, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm talking about the TS trade decks that mainly just hard play the level 6s. So really good call with the Shine Greymon Ruin mode. Tamers, 4 Asuna from BT24, of course, same 4 and 4 splits. 1 Louis Awada, which is the difference here. He's running the Louis on play. You may move one of your level 3 Digimon from the breeding area to the battle area. Okay, and then obviously you gain a memory when that happens. So that's really cool. I guess that makes him just a smidge faster, right? So I think that's also really good. For the options, he's running 2 Image Training, not just 1. 3 Bind Red Trigger instead of 4. 2 Dare Blitz and 3 Hurricane Screwshot. What I will say, what I noticed off Momin's list right away is that obviously only 3 Bind Red Trigger and 2 Dare Blitz. So in total, he only has 8 options of the 3 Musketeers, and I think that's the lowest that I've seen. Right? Usually it's 4, 2, 3 or 4, 3, 3. But yeah, he's cut quite a bit of the option cards, and I think that makes his deck a little bit more consistent, right? Because he's using the Image Training. And like I said, I like the Ruin mode. So congrats to Momin, 2nd place. Let's move on to 1st place. All right, 1st place we made it, guys. We made it. So this is 3 Musketeers, Beostarmon, Onion, 1st place, 8-1 record. And let's see, look at the pricing, TCG player pricing, estimated $500. Just so you guys know, this if you want to make Beostarmon deck, lowest rarity most likely. 4 Pagu, of course, 4 Gazi, 3 Sparrow, 4 Sparrow, and 3 Toyagu. So just a little switch on the Sparrow and the Toyagu. Of course, level 4s. He's actually only running 3 scope. I think he's the first person I've seen to run 3. So only 7 level 4s. And then again, level 5s, a little bit of lower count. 3 Lady Devimon, 2 Satellamon. And then for the level 6s, 3. This is the first person I've seen. Only 3 of the Fly Bullet / Beostarmon option from BT25. 3 Beostarmon X antibody, so a 3-3 split. I think that's the first time we've seen that throughout this video. And then obviously 2 Gundramon. Really cool. He's also running 2 Gundra as opposed to like 0 or 1, right? So he does value the Gundramon. I think the Gundramon actually went up in price recently, so I hope you guys have your Gundramons, because we're not getting a new one until November. And even then, like, this one still, I think the other Gundra is good because it digivolves 3 all of your opponent's Digimon. But the effect here to have protection, not once per turn, all turns, is pretty good. And then Tamers, only the 8s. And then the option cards, 1 image training only. He is running 4 Bind Red Trigger, 3 Dare Blitz, and then 3 Hurricane Screw Shot. So the differences between him and Momin, obviously, is that he has 2 more of the 3 Musketeers trait option cards. To me, that's also like, you know, because I play this deck, I think I'm mostly worried about the bricking, right? So I would cut Dare Blitz to 2. But he did it, right? He was able to do it. It also sucks if you don't see your option cards, which does tend to happen sometimes. But I think the Gundramon obviously does a good job of cycling through your deck. Again, reveal top 6 cards when digivolving. Again, Black Gatomon into Gundra for 4 and just skipping your level 5 is kind of nuts. And then you get to fix the top of your deck. So if you don't like the cards, like if you don't see Beostarmon X antibody, you just put those 6 cards to the bottom. Right? If you don't see an option, you put the 5 cards to the bottom and then cycle through your deck a little bit faster. So congrats to Onion. I think Onion, was it 2 years ago or was it 1 year ago? He won the national championships with North America with Demon Lords, I believe. So seems to be like a purple player, and yeah, really good. I unfortunately didn't get to do any deck profiles this day because, dude, I was exhausted. Like, like me, I think if I didn't play and like I just try to set up a camera and record, I think that would have been good, right? Because I would have recorded top table, obviously. But going 9 rounds and then trying to get the deck profiles from people was just like really hard. But I thought I could do this instead, and yeah, I really liked it. Like I said, I played Rocks. I didn't get a chance to practice that much, but I took Rocks because that's the deck I felt most comfortable with. And I came in something trash like 108th place. But honestly, I really enjoyed the experience. I think if I had practiced a little bit more with Rocks, I would have, here's my deck list. I probably would have gotten top 64. It's very unfortunate. I think I bricked. Let's see, round 1, I played against Glowing Dawn, and it was a little kid. He made a misplay, like he forgot to tap the black and purple tamer, and his Monarch Liza died in security, and then he noticed, he's like, hey, I forgot to give my Digimon jamming, can I tap the black and purple tamer? And I said yeah. Like my friends told me like, nah bro, you should have just told him like he missed the timing. But I was trying to be nice. I think for me it was just, he was like a little 15-year-old kid, you know, and his dad was like right next to him when his dad finished the match. So I let him have it because by all accounts, if he had jamming, he was going to win, right? It's just that he forgot to tap the tamer. I didn't want to do that to a little kid like that. But yeah, I got 5-4 record, and I took 4 tumble, obviously the eggs, 2 Sunariza, which I bumped up to 3, 4 Sunariza for EX11, 4 EX8 Sunariza. I think I might be the highest Rocks player. I have to check that, but we'll check that in a second. 3 Icemon, 2 Landra from EX8, 4 Promo Landra, 3 Gagmamon, which sometimes came up, sometimes didn't, because the redirect inheritable is actually really good. On deletion, you also get to reveal top 3 and play any champ or lower. And he's also a blocker, so a very defensive card. 4 Progano, 4 Pyramidi. Dude, this guy was blowing up tamers all day. Like Shine Greymon, they would like, I was about to say Shine Greymon. Shine Greymon, they would play their Marcuses for a full 5 sometimes, and I would just Digivolve into Pyramidi for 3, blow it up, right? Because it's the highest play cost. So that it was a menace, dude. Glowing Dawn blow up their tamers. Davis and Ken blow up their tamers. I was doing so much with this card, and people had to play around it. The better players, I don't want to say better players. Like once my opponent, once I did it to them game 1, game 2 they obviously try to play around it, right? And then only 3 magnetic, 2 close from EX11. I actually want to change this to 2 close from EX10, 4 close from EX8, and then 2 black scramble, 2 defense training, 2 black memory boosts, and then 4 unique emblems. What I changed from the list is I actually cut the black scrambles entirely, and I added a 3rd defense and a 3rd black memory boost, just because, like I said, the game is so fast nowadays that black scramble only came up in 1 match, which was like really grindy, and that was just to add the magnetic back to the top of the deck, not to play out the rookie, right? So I think the close, this one is enough to play out the Sonoriza. But yeah, the game is so fast now that the scramble, yeah, man, I think it's because the like Rocks is already pretty resilient as it is because of the fragment and then the ice bond giving you protection from de-digivolve and from being returned to hand or deck. Usually they only can blow it up, right? So the black scramble didn't really help out as much, and I just wish I had the 11th rookie and more consistency, honestly. But I bricked, and I think I could have taken it. Like if I had Rule Shark, that little kid, I obviously would have gotten that round 1. And this versus Shine Greymon, I took game 1, but then I bricked game 2 and 3 where I didn't see a rookie. And like I said, I was really upset because, you know, that would have been, I would have been like 7-2 at that point, you know. And then I played with against Rebootmon my last round. And I ended up, Rebootmon was really hard, especially since Rocks doesn't have any options, right, to get rid of the Rebootmon. So he suspended down my close, which means I couldn't use my emblem, and it was like GG from there. But yeah, that guy was really good. I think his name was Steve or Steven, but yeah, pretty cool. And he was a really good player with Rebootmon. And this was my first regionals. I can't wait to do more. Honestly, I wanted to do more competitive content on the channel for you guys and move away from the casual, because usually I'm a casual player. So I might start joining some like online tourneys. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's about almost 48 minutes. And I know when Risu does these, it's also pretty long. But I appreciate you guys sticking around. Like I said, if you saw me at Peoria, you said hi. I had a few people come up and say hi. If you didn't say hi because you were just like, I don't know, I guess you thought it was weird or something. Dude, next time I go to regionals, man, just come up to me. I love hearing like your stories and stuff, or just in general. It was pretty cool to talk to people. Like we were just chit-chatting, making jokes like about not seeing our rookies or just not seeing our level 4s. And in general, overall, it was a fun time. I don't think I faced anyone where some people were kind of salty when they lost, but nothing crazy, you know. There was no drama or anything. It was just really fun to meet a lot of people. Even when I did lose, I was like chit-chatting with a lot of people. So, and then the trades, I ended up getting 2 Beostarmon X antibodies with just trades, not by paying money. So yeah, if you guys traded me the Beostarmons and you're watching this video, thank you so much. But yeah, I plan to do more stuff, bro. I want to go to more regionals, to more more serious events. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. If you like the video and you like this this content in general, just make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. It really helps me out. And yeah, my name is Mr. J. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.